Hi there.
If you're watching this video on demand, this is definitely the first time we've tried to start this podcast recording. Absolutely. Can someone unban David as well, by the way? If you're watching the video or listen to this podcast, then you won't know why David was banned. It just all kicks off in the pre-show. That's all we can say. But yeah, well, welcome into twitch.tv/ice cream for the Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. And one thing on that, actually, this is the first time we've recorded the Scoop on twitch.tv/ice cream. We used to do the Scoop each and every single workday at 10 a.m. Ish. However, we've had about 7-ish months hiatus while we've been busy doing a bunch of stuff. Probably the busiest year we've had, actually, off stream. Shout out to the Jelly Media, massive. Let's go, babies. So yeah, things have been on hold. In that time frame, we got an opportunity to grab the twitch.tv/ice cream name. So we took that. So we are now just ice cream on Twitch. We are still ice cream uploads, as you can see from my hat and Bibby's hat and all of the branding and stuff like that. But you got just ice cream on Twitch. It's good shit. So we took that. But yeah, welcome back. How you doing? Everyone in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. If you don't know what the Scoop is, as mentioned, this is the UK's #1 video game podcast. We are here to give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best,
And the breaking
stories from the world of video games. But it's not just about our thoughts and impressions. We want to hear your thoughts and impressions, then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole show works. There's a lot of podcasts out there where you just sit and watch. We want you guys to get involved in the show. And it's important that you do, because we turn the live stream on Twitch into a podcast, a video on YouTube. YouTube? Nice. YouTube what? Goddamn. And an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Play or something. I don't know. It's something like that. It's been a while since I've said it. I'll double check it afterwards. But yeah, that's kind of it. So if you are watching in the stream, please do feel free to get involved. Nice. Before we get into the show, we will run through a bunch of stories. We're going to do a quick recap over the last 6 months. We've just picked a couple of stories that we've shared in our Discord that we didn't get to chat about on screen. We'll go through those. But if there's any other stories that you want to talk about that we've missed in our absence over the last 6 months, please do feel free to throw them into the chat. And if we've got time, we'll jump through those. Before we do get onto any of that, though, a reminder that subscribers get prizes, or one subscriber gets a prize every month just for supporting the channel. We give away a prize. Last month, what did we give away? Was that FIFA last month, or was that Space Marine, or it was something?
I think the Space Marine.
Yeah. So we gave stuff away. This month, do you know, we'll do a video game of your choice. On Monday, we will let you have a video game of your choice absolutely free. Obviously, caveats, that's not special editions and mega £1,000 editions that come with a full life-size cast of Bibby in the case or something like that. your standard retail edition sort of stuff. We will give away FC, not FIFA. Come on, Graham. There was not a single bit of punctuation in that sentence, so I'm not going to acknowledge that. But yeah, nice one, Wobbles. Someone check him out. He's still probably meandering around the streets. God damn it. Yes, so we'll give away a game of your choice. All you need to do is be a subscriber at 3 p.m. on Monday when we export the list of people that are subs. So the first Monday of every month, we take the list of active subs on the channel, export that, and then give a prize away. This month, we will give away a video game of your choice. You just need to be a sub at 3 p.m. on Monday. Nice. And then one more bit of news. You might have seen yesterday that Beach B-Fly has bagged himself one of these bad boys, an Astro A50X headset. Shout out to Logitech GUK for supporting us, as you can see, with bits of stuff like this, like the Mandalorian headset that we just unboxed recently, and the A30 that's just been to Gothenburg with me. We got an A50X headset to give away as part of the Logi Play Days sale, and whilst I was away, Bibby drew that. Beach won it. Nice. So hopefully that'll turn up soon and we can get some cool pictures of that in his setup. Let's go, baby. Wobbles is gone. Wobbles is up. Wobbles is down. I'm gonna do that just for the reference. Exclamation mark. Wobbles.
Wobbles is still up. Wobbles is down.
There he goes. And he's gone.
That's going to be a sound drop for Wobbles, surely.
Fumes.
Surely that's a sound drop for Wobbles when he comes in.
Wobbles says, "Why have I been banned?" I don't know. Ask Tito.
It does say reason, poor spelling and grammar.
Oh, okay. There you go. he's not great at the reading and stuff. Poor at spelling, grammar, and comprehension as well from the scenes of the things as well. There you go, nice. Yes. Anyway, that's enough. Let me jump over into the split screen.
Mr. Bibb.
Yes.
Welcome back to the scoop.
Welcome back to the scoop as well yourself, Graham.
Yeah, boy.
It's been a long old time.
The thing is, though, I've been sat ready at 10 a.m. each and every single weekday, waiting to go, and you've just not been there, Bib. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're busy people, Graham. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, genuinely, over the last few months, we've done obviously our personal life stuff as well. We've been on holidays and things ourselves, but we've been just yesterday. I was in Gothenburg, Sweden. We were in Gamescom last month. We had an event in London, a press and media event for a week in London last month too, and then there was a bunch of other stuff. We've been doing a lot of online stuff too that we can't talk about, but yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's good behind the scenes. It just means that we don't get as much time to put the content onto the stream for you guys, but it's fine. We've got a little bit of a recap coming today, so we're going to jump through a few articles that we've picked from the scoop section within the Discord. These are things that we've kind of shared but haven't had a chance to talk about, so we'll pick those. If there's anything that stands out from the last 6 months that you think, do you know what, we should talk about that. Naturally, the one thing that we probably don't need to speak about, but we're definitely not avoiding for the last 6 months, is the amount of redundancies, because that shit is fucking horrendous. But we've covered that stuff in detail leading up to us stopping, so that's not exactly new for us on the channel. It's shit. A lot of businesses are making decisions that are affecting a lot of people, rather than people that earn big bucks at the top. But that's just the games industry. Yeah, let's go, baby. So there you go. We've touched on that one. But what we will touch on, though, first off, Mr. Bibb, are you interested in a PS5 Pro?
I most certainly am, for the right price.
For the right price. Well, nice segue. Love it. Love it. It's like you've done this before. It's like you've done this before. This one from almost a month ago. Last month, Sony officially unveiled the PS5 Pro, releasing in November for $700 and £700. Sony promises a larger GPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI-driven upscaling. Let me just... I'll only read a teaser of the start paragraph, and then we'll... Because it's a month old, we don't need to go through it all. So Sony has officially announced the PS5 Pro. The new console will be released on November the 7th for £700, which is $700 apparently, and €800, naturally.
Yeah.
It will include
Wanky conversion rate.
Yeah, trash. It will include a 2 terabyte SSD, a dual sense wireless controller, but a disk drive will need to be purchased separately, which is about £100. Also, a stand will need to be purchased separately, which I think is at least £25-35. And it was revealed during a live stream hosted by system architect Mark Cherney. Okay, we won't go through all the details. You've probably seen a bunch of that stuff over the last month or so anyway. But what were your thoughts on the PS5 Pro, Bib?
Initially, when it first got unveiled, I was like, do you know, £700 is an awful lot of money, as is $700. Not quite as much as £700, but it's still a big chunk of cash for a console now. How old is the PS5? Is it like 4 years old at this point? When did it come out? Was it 2020?
I think it's 3. I could be wrong. I think it's 3 years old. I thought it was 2021, but I might be wrong. Oh fuck yeah! Wes says best 75,000 channel points I've ever spent. He did actually redeem Scoop dedication the other day.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, we'll come back to it then. We'll circle round. We'll do a middle show segue. This episode of the Scoop is brought to you by. Okay, nice, good remembering. Back to you.
It came out on November 12th, 2020, so it's nearly 4 years old.
Ooh.
So I don't think it was possibly ready for the PS5 Pro just yet. However, this is not being aimed at me at all in any way, shape, or form. The only 4K screen that I have in my house is in the front room. I don't have a 4K monitor that I play games on in my office. Don't have one in the kitchen. Don't have one in the bedroom. So it would never have been aimed at me anyway. So I'm not ready to be able to move across. I never got the PS4 Pro. I never got the PS4 Slim. I literally just had my PlayStation 4, my base PlayStation 4 that I got on release, right the way through to the PlayStation 5 coming out. So I never upgraded the console. Luckily, it never broke on me, so I never needed to. So the pro stuff never really interests me because I can never get the most out of it. So I will definitely be waiting for the PlayStation 6 to come, but obviously during this moment in time, we've had several conversations, obviously away from the scoop, in that I think I'm getting to the point now where I don't see the value in console gaming. Like, PC gaming has always been there for me in one way or another, but I just think I'm getting much more value for money out of my PC or PC gaming in general than I am doing from a console perspective. Like, every game that you can get on your console will eventually come to PC. It might not be day dot, but I can't remember the last time that I played a PlayStation 5 launch game on the day that it came out. Complete stark contrast to what I do with Xbox. Like, because it's on Game Pass day one, I've got the ability to be able to boot it up on the day and play it. Like, I don't have to fork out the 80 quid or whatever it is for the game. Like, I honestly can't remember the last time I played a launch PlayStation title. So this isn't catered for me anymore. Opinions change. So that might be the case when the PlayStation 6 comes out, and I think, yeah, I'm obviously going to get that for my house, but I don't play my PlayStation all that often. I mean, I don't really play as many games as I used to as a whole, like maybe 3 times, 4 times at an absolute max, but it might be in like, I don't know, 1 or 2 hour bursts. I just don't have the time to play as many games as I used to. So the demand for me wanting a day one console just isn't as... it's just not the biggest desire in my life anymore. Again, things change when Joseph grows up a little bit more and he starts to get his head around playing video games. That might change. Instead of buying 1 console, I might have to buy 2 because he'll want one when he gets much older, hopefully. Obviously, it's not local for PS5 when he's bloody 4. But yeah, the desire for playing console games or games as a whole isn't as prevalent as it once was. So I feel like the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out isn't speaking to me, especially at that price point. However, there is a lot of people in the world that only play console games, that only play PlayStation games, that want the biggest, the best. They've got the fucking 8K screen in the front room, or they've got a 4K, 120 Hz, 260 Hz monitor, whatever spec they have. And they want the biggest and best, and they will already have the money waiting for this since the announcement. Very much like the PlayStation 30th anniversary consoles that recently just got announced, like scalped out of the mind straight off the bat because they didn't put a big SKU line out for it.
It was 12300. It was like 12,300 or something, like 123,000 or whatever. It was a 123 at the beginning, whatever it was.
Yeah, which in the world, considering they sold 160 million PlayStation 4 consoles across the entire time that they were still being made, like, of course there was going to get scalped at a ridiculous price when it eventually came out. So again, we're just falling into traps at this moment in time. If it's not your console being scalped, it's your graphics card for your PC. Do you know what I mean? So we can never escape it. It's always going to be there. But in terms of the price points that are coming out, everything's going up. Price of what goes into your fridge, what goes into your car, like everything is going up across the board. You can go to Asda now and spend 50 quid on your shopping, and you're looking in your bag and you're going, what the fuck have I just spent 50 quid on?
A Mars bar. That's it.
Literally, like a tin of beans is like £1.50. Like, when the fuck did that happen?
The thing is like, I was listening to something. I can't remember who, so I can't credit them. It may be VGC or something like that. One of the podcasts I listened to, and they were saying they agree the price is bullshit. Like, to an extent, there's lots of caveats in terms of home electronics will cost you more generally. The price of TVs and stuff has come down over the last few years, but generally home electronics, you are quite not happy, but you are aware that an electrical device for your living room can cost you thousands of pounds sometimes, like depending on the TV or depending on the sound system or whatever. You are aware that they can go up to the thousands for the top quality. In consoles, that's never been a thing. But with things like short form social media, your TikToks, your Instagrams, and so on like that, the hype around PS5 during the launch is a very big thing that fed into that scalping phase. People, I need this. This is the coolest thing to have. Like being seen with the latest smartphone Obviously an iPhone, because only weirdos use Android, you know, fuck they'll get but like, yeah, be it the new Pixel, be it the new iPhone, be it the new whatever, smartphone tech and stuff like that, you had to get, this is why you need to upgrade your phone to the iPhone 76 right now, because it's got the exact same camera as last time, but they've made the button different color. Oh my God. And it's like that, but that's what they did for the PS5. So the PS5 Pro was always going to have the same sort of thing behind it, even though PlayStation were saying in their spiel, you don't need this. That's effectively what they were saying. This is only for the people that want the biggest and best, for the people that want to put a bunch of effort into what? Candy Bear!
Hi.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you very much for the raid, Candy Bear. For anyone that doesn't know, Billy and Graham are back at it again, bringing the scoop to you and your friends. I scream, you scream. Okay, no, if you want to hear that
Cheers,
song,
Candy.
check out Candy on Twitch, because I can't do it, and I'm not going to offend us all by trying to do it
I
here.
think you should.
That was enough. That was enough. God damn. You just sang it for them?
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. I'm assuming everyone in our channel already follows Candy Bear. If you don't, do drop Candy a follow and keep your legs, arms, and other appendages inside the vehicle and
The other things that Candy says.
yeah, nice. So we are currently talking about the PS5 Pro. I'll jump over to the news article. Whoop. Hi. So we are a bit late with this because we've been on hiatus for about 6 months with the scoop. We are back now. We've been busy doing a lot of work stuff off stream, so we had to make the difficult decision for the first time in like 5 years of scooping to 4 years-ish of scooping, 3 years-ish, whatever time of scooping, to take some time away to box stuff off. So we are catching up with all of the stuff that we missed. So about a month ago, the PS5 Pro was announced. We didn't get to talk about it, so that's what we're talking about now. Jump back over here. Hi. So yeah, we just talked over the fact that it costs £700, and the way that PlayStation are pitching it is that they're saying this is for a PlayStation gamer that wants the best of everything. So you already have the ability, like I think it's the same on Xbox, you already have the ability to choose between resolution or frame rate. So you can get 4K gameplay 30, or you can get 1080p 60. Some games there's a little bit of a leeway between the middle of it, but generally that's what you're looking at: 4K 30, 1080 60. And this is the first time where you don't have to choose. You get both 4K and 60, which is great if you already have the setup for that. But for someone like me, who is sat in a very elaborate setup that makes... Oh, what are we laughing at? What are we laughing at?
Me?
No, Judge just redeemed the... The laugh. What are you laughing at? Yeah, so for someone that has an elaborate setup like me, and works in video games, plays new games, and well, all I ever play is PUBG, really, to be honest. Let's be honest. Maybe some PES 2021 and stuff. But you know, I have a lot of monitors in my setup, but the ones that I play on are only 1080p. So for me to invest in an already expensive console for £700, I need to spend at least half that again to get a monitor of the same spec of what I've got, but with 4K. So I can get up to 120 hertz. I think it's 240 actually, these monitors, which is more than the PlayStation 5 can do, but I can't hit the 4K, so I don't need it. I'm only playing on 24.5-inch screens, so 4K is kind of irrelevant. So for me, it's already expensive and pointless. PlayStation are like, yeah, we're aware. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't want it, you don't have to get it. It's only for a set few people is the way that they're pitching it, which then leads me into... People are starting to have the conversation of, this is a very expensive product because they don't think everyone will pick it up. People are pondering about the price of the PS6. Obviously, we're 3.5 years away from that, probably. So if this is 4 years after the launch and the price has gone up to £700, what happens with the PS6? Some people are going, well, it's going to be even more again. But others are going, no, but this is like the plus. Like, you get your iPhone Plus, PlayStation Plus, or Pro as it is. So people are saying this is like your mid-console price hike, but it's not going to stay that for the next one. It'll come back down again for the PS6, which I kind of feel like it has to, because there was a comment in the chat. I'll go further back up, see if we can find Tito's comment, which is something we all agree on, I think. Current generation console gaming hasn't yet peaked because we're developing for previous gen, and that's what's holding it back. So if they release a PS6 and that goes up to £750, £800, and it still doesn't hit the full end of the spectrum, we're kind of like, well, this is shit. We're not fucking getting anywhere. So I feel like they may try hold the price and launch the PS6 in 3 years' time at £700, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that drop back down to a more like a £500 price mark. Maybe not with the disc drive because they're already trying to package that as something separate. So maybe you have to pay for that elsewhere. But yeah, do you feel?
I'm just reading Sheep's comment because he does kind of hit the nail on the head, and something that we would come to expect from a console nowadays that is putting out the graphic resolution, fidelity, and all of the other good, nice buzzwords that they end up want to put in there. But he says that he agrees with the price that is ridiculous. But at the time, as a package, I think Digital Foundry did a video where that if you created a gaming PC that achieved similar results as the PS5 Pro, the GPU would cost the same as the PlayStation 5 Pro. So while the price is too high, it's actually very good, unless the Digital Foundry are just shills, which. Do you know what? If you're looking at it pound for pound in terms of what you're getting from a PC and what you're getting with the console, I imagine it probably levels out. However, the console has always been the less expensive home console, the pick up and play. You don't have to change your bloody motherboard or your RAM or upgrade your PSU or your GPU if you want better graphics and stuff like that. They're trying to put out the same thing as what you're getting in your PC. If they want to sell more of those consoles, obviously the price, it needs to be, I don't want to say relatable because everybody's wallets are completely different across the board. But are you pricing yourself out of the market and just saying, do you know what? Fuck it. If I'm spending £700 on this PS5, I'll just go and spend the same thing on a PC instead and get the games cheaper. Like, I understand there is PlayStation fanboys, Xbox fanboys out there that will never consider buying anything else than the home console that they already own. They're never going to move to PC gaming. But if someone offered me the same results for the same price, then I'm choosing a PC every time because the games are so much cheaper.
The thing for me with the Digital Foundry element is, I don't think that's a shill. Either that is them being very narrow-minded, or they are they're coming to that conclusion with the hope of engagement farming. Because pound for pound, that's probably accurate. Like, to get something that can churn out 4K 60 with the equivalent of DLSS, which is obviously NVIDIA's super sampling. I can't remember what the AMD version of it is, but PlayStation is PSSR, or as everyone keeps calling it, pisser. Nice. So, like, yeah, it is basically a good punchy PC, but they're missing out a lot of things there in terms of that £700 PC that you buy doesn't just allow you to play games. Yeah, you're not playing 4K 60 and so on like you would be on your PlayStation, but you have, for starters, a web browser. You don't have that on a PlayStation. To get a web browser on a PS5, it actually exists within the ecosystem. But to get to the web browser, you have to do weird backdooring. Like, so if you open up a game and it'll take you into an inbuilt web browser, you can get to it through avenues like that, like going and searching for YouTube and doing blah, 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 and other bits like that. You can use the web browser, but they don't actively have a web browser on the system. You can do that on a PC. Plus a million and one other things from a productivity and a distraction sort of level. The other thing is, like, £700, like, that's only putting the value on being able to play 4K 60. So they're not talking about the value of just being able to play and do other things and stream and whatever else you might do with your PC that you can still do on a PC that's £700. That's much more advanced than the PlayStation at £700. Like picking up a Steam Deck. I'm looking at a Steam Deck for Christmas. To get a brand new 1 terabyte OLED Steam Deck and a dock is cheaper than that, and I can play a full PC library. I can put Windows onto that and play games from other platforms and other systems and still have change for a PlayStation 5 that I can't even stand upright properly because it doesn't have a stand, because that's an extra 25 quid on top. So the Digital Foundry point is good, but very, very narrow-minded. Probably not the right word, but their outcome is very, very laser-focused on, can the PC hit the same visual fidelity? But you're not judging it on the full package. You're judging it on what it aims to do specifically differently to everything else. But what you're judging the strong point of a PlayStation versus not the strong point of a PC. It's like comparing apples and oranges in that sort of sense. So in that sense, if the PlayStation's an apple and a PC's an orange, and the question is which one is the best apple, then it kind of, well, I wonder. So,
well, yeah, you're absolutely right with me and you had the conversation about the Steam Deck stuff. Like, I feel like I'm definitely in a part of my life where having a handheld console that can play all the games that I want to play right now is 100% the best way for me to enjoy video games again, and having a Steam Deck would tick every single box off of there. Fantastic build quality, great screen, button layout on point, triggers are nice, and I can play my entire Steam library on there.
Yeah.
What more is there to what is there to hate on it? I understand that they haven't got the more expensive one does have 920 by 1080. I think the smaller ones, I think 800 pixels, I think it maxes out at. So I mean, for me, graphics have never really been the seller of a game. It's always been gameplay. What's the plot like? I play a lot of single player games rather than multiplayer ones nowadays. So has it got a good storyline? Are the controls tight? Does it look okay? I play a lot of PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360 games, so the graphics have never been an absolute premium for what brings me into the game. So if it ticks all of those boxes, I'm happy to give a game a go. I usually play 1 or 2 hours of most games and then probably come back to it later if I enjoy it enough. I'm definitely not one of them people that'll just play the game to the finish every single time because I feel like I have to. If the game's enticing enough, then I'll look to finish it. But if it's not, I'm not going to waste my time playing it. I'll just move on to the next thing. And I feel that's where my Steam library and the games on my PC, I can afford to be able to do that because the games are so much cheaper. I can play it downstairs in the front room. I don't have to lug my PlayStation downstairs if I want to play it and be around my family and stuff. I don't have to lock myself in my office like I used to do many years ago before we ended up having Joseph. So I feel like the better pound for pound thing for me in my life at this moment in time would be to get a Steam Deck and have the dock in the front room or whatever it is that I end up using for it. I don't think the PlayStation 5 Pro or the 6 is something that's speaking to me right now. And it is sad because I've grown up playing a PlayStation as my primary console. Like, I do have Xbox consoles in my house. I have my Xbox Series S next to me here. Fantastic piece of kit. But I have Game Pass on my phone. I have Game Pass on my tablet. I can play those games anywhere, and that's what I have been doing whenever I need to get my fix. So, yeah, whether or not they're pricing me out, I don't know. But the new features that are bringing to it, they can give me all the buzzwords in the world. But does it have good games?
Yes, sir.
And does it have competitive prices?
Yeah.
That's all I need to know now.
I mean, I'll jump back through the comments. Where did we get to? There's the Candy Red. Thank you, Candy. Love you, mate. PlayStation should have been stricter with the retro one. There should have been parameters in place to stop the scalping. So that's regarding the 30th anniversary PS5. Yeah, I mean, when there is that form of FOMO, 12,000 or 100,000 consoles or whatever it is, we're talking a console that sells hundreds of millions. Like, that's never going to be enough. That will always exist. So that is kind of disappointing because I was sat in the queue trying to buy at least one, but more of those, not just for myself, but for colleagues as well, and didn't manage to get any of them. I could buy one of the 30th anniversary PS Portals by the time I got in. I was like, well, I'm not asked because it might not work for me, so not going to bother. But yeah, I get it, but that's just kind of, I feel like restricting it to X number for collectors and so on. No, you're restricting that to X number of people that are willing to scalp. Shit process, but that's a completely different conversation. So I'll happily just swerve that for now. But Tito says there's an Insta reel of people in Australia giving away free iPhone upgrades to people. They'd slap a case on their original one, clean the screen, and claim they'd transferred all their data and pictures via new Apple tech. People were claiming it was so much faster with no lag, and you could see the detail had been upscaled in their OG photos. That's people. That's people. God damn it. I mean, that stuff's kind of been around forever. You tell someone something is better, and they'll believe it. But that could just be as simple as you clean someone's case and it looks brighter. Like you take off the screen protector and put a better one, and it could be clearer. Just that could just be changing the experience. But yeah, it still doesn't come back to the point that this is actually an upgrade, though. But not for me. If I plugged this in, it would not change anything. I would still be playing at 1080p 60 hertz for a PS5 that cost me £700. So I don't think it's worth £700 for myself. I don't feel like it will change anything, though. I feel like PlayStation are going to sell enough of these because of that culture around new hardware and tech that this will be a sale that happens for them regardless. It's just what kind of impact that has on the next generation. I do agree with Bibby, though, in terms of it kind of... We're at the point where we are hardcore. We are the hardcore. We are sat streaming video game content on a video game platform on the internet. And we aren't ticking the boxes for the PS5 Pro. Who are you selling it to? You're selling it to not like for the players, for the gamers, for the people that want the best. No, you're selling it to people that don't really care about gaming as such, but it's almost the vanity market, the celebrity market, the people that are looking for exclusive luxury products. That's not gamers. That's a different market that has been built around there. So perfect. That's a great market, but don't try to tell people this is for the people that want the best gaming experiences. I'd say this is more like the people that want to be seen to having the best gaming experiences. For the majority of them, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of like whatever the word for audiophiles is, but for gamers, the people that want the very best of the best. Yeah, there will be people buying that, but a lot of them probably not that.
But more power to them, by the way. More power to them. If that's how they want to spend their money, because that is their number one hobby and that's what they enjoy doing. That's how they socialize with their friends. I will never berate someone for spending money on anything that makes them happy. Consoles, mobile phones, tablets, whatever it is. That's absolutely fine. We are literally just saying across the board that this is not aimed at us at this moment in time.
100%. I mainly want it for GTA 6 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth at top fidelity, but even that, GTA 6 just got pushed back until the next year. So I reckon that's PlayStation going, oh fuck, we were thinking we'll just get Rockstar to stick GTA 6 on the box and that will sell shitloads of these. They're now going to be sat there with maybe a few more in warehouses because it's still going to sell. It's still going to sell, no problem with that. So... yeah. Can only handle 24.5 inches. Yeah, mate. Yeah. PS6 is probably going to be the same price as the PS5 was on launch. They can't go higher. They did with the PS5, higher than they've ever gone before. So, whilst I do agree with you, I have hope the same as you, I also am aware that the PS5 went up and the PS5 Pro was ridiculous. There was a lot of people, journalists, that had insider knowledge and this, that, and the other, and used all of that stuff to come up with their educated guesses on the price of the PS5 Pro, and they were shocked by what it actually was. So, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. PS6 is 100% digital only, all consoles moving that way. I don't feel like you can say that, though. There's a reason why we have add-on disk drives. The fact that the disk drives are add-on by default now shows that that's where they want it to go. But whether they will actually get it to go that way by the next generation, I feel that's... You're a braver man than me saying that. Mm-hmm. Like, I would not commit to saying that. I don't think that that's the case. If PlayStation could choose, they would want it to go that way, whether the market lets them or not. Different. I think there's two arguments. Is the tech worth it? Yeah, probably. The tech is probably good value in a sense. Is it necessary and will anyone really get the most out of it? Absolutely not. Mike, good morning. At that price point, especially when including PlayStation Plus and a disc drive that it want, I figure you might as well just build a gaming PC or buy a solid used pre-built from Best Buy. And that's the thing. That's where I fully agree that for £700, £800 if you're getting the disc drive, £825 if you're getting a stand.
A fucking stand is costing £25. Is blowing my mind.
Madness. So £825 for the stand, £875 if you want it with a second controller. So let's just say £900. It's £900 to get a kitted PlayStation compared to the one I have here. 2 controllers and a disc drive, 900 quid. Madness. And yes, you can get a PC that is just as well equipped. For what I'm using it in this setup, without having to buy extra hardware, without having to buy a 4K 60 monitor or TV or whatever, for £900, I can get me a PC that I can stream on and play games on at the same time. Maybe not the best games and maybe not the highest fidelities and so on, but I can get a better experience. Not the same experience, but a better pound-for-pound experience on PC than I can in PlayStation, which is what Bibby says. Console gaming just doesn't have the value anymore. And I agree with it. There's no sort of good cop, bad cop in this discussion. I agree. PlayStation doesn't have competition. And when you don't have that competition in that market anymore, you can do what you want. And that's where we are with that. PC entry cost is high, but the games are extremely cheaper. 12 games I want for PS5 up until end of November, £490. For PC, £270. There you go. There's quarter of your console back right there. That's why 5 years ago I moved from PC to Xbox Pure, but now I've given the Xbox to the kids. Yeah, can I play Tetris in 720p on the Pro? If so, then I'm out. Yes, you can. Oh, fuck this shit. Bye. How many pros does your setup have, Nietzsche? He's got 20. Scalping. Depends on what you want to run at. You can build a mid-range PC for 300 to 400 with second-hand parts. 100%. And obviously that's a little bit different because if you're talking about a £700 brand new PS5 versus buying parts for a PC second-hand, that's one that's a consumer product off the shelf, and that's another one that's a second-hand product that requires knowledge. So there is differences in there. Very aware of that. But you can buy second-hand PCs off brand new PCs for £700 that will be able to pack some of a punch. Not the same visual fidelity, but in terms of experiences, there is a wider range of experiences in what a PC can give you, or what a Steam Deck can give you versus a £700 console. Linus did a build that was $100 cheaper until a Windows license was added. Confirmed, Graham likes backdooring. Nice. Let's also not forget, PS5 has very few actual exclusives, i.e. games that are actually fully taking advantage of the hardware. I believe it's like 10 total in 4 years. By the time they develop proper for this thing, the PS6 will be out. That's the main thing for me. That is the main thing, is PlayStation exclusive is not PlayStation exclusive anymore. It's console exclusive because most of their titles are coming to PC anyway. So yeah, there might be 2 years on it. Infamous, thank you for the follow. There might be 2 years on it, but I will be able to play Horizon or God of War or The Last of Us or whatever else the next exclusive is. I'll be able to play that on my PC eventually. Some games won't work as well, like Ratchet and Clank. You needed that SSD, so you need a top-end PC. If you've only got a HDD and not as powerful a graphics card, then yeah, that won't work as well. But that's just hardware anyway. That's like saying...
You still play it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like saying, oh, I can't play a PS5 game on my PS4. Well, duh! I mean, obviously... I just Steam my digital library more than PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. You also don't pay for online services on PC, right? Correct, yeah. I don't think they're shills either. I can't remember the exact price they said, but just the GPU would be $700 if you're trying to hit the same graphics as the PS Pro. Once they buy the CPU, PSU, it would be over a K. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. Like I say, that's them pushing the just graphics. To how much would it cost then to get a PlayStation to be able to plug in a webcam, to run OBS, to have a Stream Deck plugged in, to have all... There is no cost because that is impossible. And that's the thing, though, is they're comparing one element that favours the PS5 Pro. Not that I think that they're shilling. I think that they're doing that to encourage people to comment on that and say, actually, you're not thinking of that. So that's what I mean. I don't feel it's shilling, but I do feel it's engagement farming because the conclusion isn't holistic. It's very, very narrow. I've spent so much money on doing that, but we're getting Thomas and OLED Switch for Christmas because we want to start playing more couch co-op games together. I love this. Miss the couch co-op experience as a kid with my sis, neighbours and cousins. Really will help bring everyone closer together. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, we are just in a world now where everything's just easier to do it online. Everyone has their own consoles. No one wants to go around to someone's house and use a Mad Cat controller anymore, do they? They just do it at home over Discord or whatever. And that is the world that we're living in now. Like, I imagine my brother didn't even know, like, what fucking Cartoon Network was and stuff like that. It's a complete evolution of people that don't understand what it was like. Obviously, what we've grown through, people, you can explain it to them, but they won't get it. Used to go to your friend's house and play video games together. I imagine most of my friends, I imagine my brother hasn't been to most of his friends' houses. They just see each other at school, left. I mean, he's 18 now, he's working, but it gets to a point where you don't really go to your friends' houses anymore, do you? So he would have just been playing online at home all of the time, never really going to people's houses to play on the same console, playing old Pro Evo games or whatever. It's just not a thing anymore. So, yeah.
I am going to cut you off there, though, because I've just realised how long we've been spending on this, and this is only the first recap article. This isn't even the articles and stuff yet. Okay, there's a bit more conversation. Depends on the GPU, because Intel's Arc A770 is capable of PS5 graphical level output for about 450 quid when Linus did his PC build. So, yeah, that's the thing, though. But I bet Digital Foundry were probably looking at the wider used consumer ones, like an NVIDIA something or other or whatever, or an AMD one there, as Sheep says. It was one of the 6K AMD models or something. Or Radeon graphics cards, there you go. Xbox just launched a diskless X and disk tray X because people still like discs. Neatly typed dicks. Of course you did. Of course you did. People still do
I'd
like
always
dicks.
choose I'd always choose, if I had the opportunity, to always pick a disc console, because it just kind of future-proofs yourself. But a lot of the games now aren't even bloody on the discs, are they? You put it in, it's just an information disc, and you have to download the entire bloody game. But yeah, we're a world away from where we used to be, and I'm definitely getting to the point in my life now where old man shakes fist at cloud for everything: music, video games, TV. I mean, whatever, football.
I would always choose a disc drive. 90% of my game playing is digital, but like we've said before, that's because we work in video games, and a lot of the time code distribution is digital anyway, because it's just easier and cheaper for people. But if I was buying games, more often than not, it wouldn't be from a digital storefront, because why am I paying for that digital markup? Fuck that shit. Redefined Gamer, welcome into the stream, by the way. Thank you for the first time chat. I'm slowly transitioning to PC gaming, but still lean to my console from time to time. I am still the majority console gamer, but I am leaning more on PC gaming, definitely, and I definitely want to lean even more on PC gaming. I made that investment earlier this year for that, so agreed, very much so. If you're interested in the Linus PS5 vid, there it is. Okay, I won't click it, but thank you very much. Mike says, as someone who lives in rural area in the US, I think we slightly underestimate that internet technology here is still lagging behind.
Mates, I know.
Can't relate.
Although
Can't relate.
I got an email last week from Virgin Media saying that we're up and running, ready to go. Gigabit, let's go, baby. But I know it was this week when I was in Sweden, so yeah, I'll sort that shit. Half of US counties don't have fully broadband infrastructure, and around 25% of households don't have high-speed broadband standard. 25 down, 3 up. Not sure what those numbers are overseas, but people still want disc drives. Yeah, 100%. And then you get to like Latin America and stuff like that, where the PS4 still isn't fully in operation. There's still large parts of Latin America where people are modding games for PS3 consoles to try and give them that PS5 experience on a 2-gen back system, and aren't even really going online. They're taking that stuff, USB in it, and dropping it onto a console that way because of the online infrastructure. So fully agree. I want a PS Portal to play my PlayStation games, but my Wi-Fi, my internet speeds, I'm about 60-70 meg, which is more than enough, should be, for a PS Portal. It's not shit, it's crap. That's the reason why I've not invested. That's the reason why I'm going to get a Steam Deck instead, because I've got that solid state that I can rely on rather than just playing Steam Link through to the PC over dodgy Wi-Fi. Chances are I'll have better internet by the time I get my Steam Deck, but still. Wobbles' internet is great, yes. Of course it is, mate. Anyway, we'll put a pin in that. Is the PS5 Pro worth £700? Some people think so, some people don't. I won't be getting one. I'd rather get a Steam Deck myself. Okay, next articles, plural. Actually, first things first, let me drop here. Where is that one? Is that just me on screen cam only? Nice. Settings. Streamer mode on. I could hear people chatting away in the Discord and it was doing my nutting. Plop, 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 plop. Plop, plop. Okay, split screen. We back. take this one off. I'll just give you the headline at the moment. The UK's gaming expo scene might suffer another loss as WASD London vanishes online. Do you know what? I'll bring the article up on screen, but I won't stay on it for too long because there actually has been an advance in this story. You may have seen us share this in the Discord. So WASD or WASD, depending on how you pronounce it, is a UK-based gaming expo that is kind of satisfying that indie vibe, but also is breaking out of indie. I think we've done some bits with Ubisoft and co over the last few years, which is definitely not in indie and so on. However, their social media, their website and everything, they'd not posted on social media for about 18 months or so. Their website had disappeared. Everyone just thought, oh, well, it's collapsed. It's not coming back. Job's good and it's gone. Unfortunate. That's fucking shit for the UK games industry. But apparently, I believe, since then, they have actually confirmed and renewed the website and stuff. I think because they're a small business, they've probably just not had someone looking at that shit and didn't realise that it all just went boop, boop, and shit the bed. So if anyone is worried about WASD, don't worry. It looks like it's coming back. Another Sony-based article, because obviously you guys are all Sony ponies and that's all we cater for. You guys in the chat that absolutely hate Eggbox and all that crap that console stands for. God damn. Do you realise that we are PUBG streamers and a lot of the people only play Xbox? That's what it comes from. Anyway, it's a joke. Banter. Settle down. Jordan Midler at VGC over a month ago says Astro Bot reportedly sold more physical copies in the UK in 2 days than Concord did worldwide. And couple of points to this story. One, did you know that PlayStation had a game called Concord? Because a lot of people didn't. And
Me included.
Yeah, exactly. And two,
even though we watched it be premiered.
Yeah, in one of the state of plays or a Gamescom conference or something, Concord appeared, and it was a shooter that nobody really asked for, that didn't really do anything different or better than any other shooter that's out there. It looked good in terms of like the mechanics of it were decent, but it was more of a but why? But why sort of moment. Anyway, Concord is a game that existed for literally 2 weeks. So Sony's live service shooter Concord was taken offline after 2 weeks of sale. Since this article has been aired, apparently Sony spent something like, it was either 4 million or 400 million. I don't know. Either way, whatever number it was, I assume it's probably more like 400 million. I could be wrong. But they spent a stupid amount of money on marketing and so on, which then just disappeared. Which is a bizarre one, because Sony have cancelled a lot of projects over the last couple of years, like things like the factions for The Last of Us and so on. Games that were supposed to be live service-esque, that they thought, actually, that might not work. Certain bits with other brands and so on. But this one, they stuck and pushed ahead with. But the fact that it only lasted 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, like within like the first couple of days, this being a major first-party release, but it had only about 300 people globally playing it or something like that. Madness. On the other hand, Astro Bot, phenomenal. If you haven't played, if you got a PS5 and you haven't played Astro's Playroom, well, Astro's Bot should have said Astro Bot, which is what it was called. Astro Playroom was the PS4 stuff. If you haven't played Astro Bot, that came with, or is it Astro's Playroom?
Astro's Playroom was the PS5.
Is it? There you go.
Free one, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so Astro's Playroom that you get free on the PS5, phenomenal, great platformer. This is that, but even better. I have this game. I haven't played this game. Imagine my surprise. Anyone else that watches this channel shocked? I tell you, shocked. So yeah, Astro Bot smashed it. Concord smashed to pieces. God damn. So yeah, that's the recap. Now, though, we'll jump into a bit more modern news. If anyone has anything that we missed over the last 6 months that you want to maybe have a chat amongst the room, then please do feel free to share. We'll happily jump into that. For now, though, we're going to jump into a few bits a bit more recent. Before we do, my internet 5 years ago was 3 down, 1 up. Now I'm at 1 gig down, 1 gig up, so massive improvement. But I remember not being able to game if my mum wanted to watch Netflix in college. Woof, yeah.
Oh, big woof.
Yeah, 1-1. Oh no, 3-1 should I say. That's pain. That is pain. Just before we do anything, before we go any further, let me jump into the main screen.
Hi there, welcome to the stream. I want to bring you in and talk about a man called West.
He lives in a shed and he loves his eggs. But that guy is the reason that we all try a little bit harder to be the best possible version of ourselves. But one day we'll realize that we could never be West. Thank you, West, for supporting ICU and The Scoop with your support digitally and in the studio. We love you, West. Thank you for being here for The Scoop. Nice. There you go. I don't know. I've never done a Scoop dedication before. No one's actually really redeemed it. So that's the first one we've had with those. Thank you. Thank you, West. Let's go in. So, yeah. Bib. First article, Riot has teased new playable experiences in the Valorant universe. As a member of ICU, who were global renowned superstars at Valorant when it first launched on Twitch during lockdown, have you seen much of this?
I actually haven't, Graham. I haven't seen much of it, no.
Interesting. Well, let's jump in. Tom Ivan at VGC has the story. It says, Riot teases new playable experiences in the Valorant universe. Valorant, which has 35 million players per month, is moving to Unreal Engine 5. Oh, that's going to be amazing. I didn't know that. So anyway, Riot Games has teased plans for new playable experiences in the Valorant universe. Speaking at Unreal Fest this week, Valorant studio head Anna Donlan said the game is currently on version 4.27 of Epic's Unreal Engine, but that it will be transitioning to UE5. Quote, we have squeezed literally every ounce out of everything we could on Unreal 4, so now we make the move to UE5. That is not an easy feat when your game is a live service game, but it's necessary for sure. And this upgrade is not going to significantly change how Valorant looks or performs, at least not right away, but here's what I can say, she continued. There are many developers back at Riot who are incredibly grateful for what Unreal has allowed us to do for players, and there are many developers back at Riot who are very excited about what UE5 can do for us in the future. Maybe those devs are working on something I can't talk about. Maybe those devs are thinking about ways to expand the Valorant universe into new playable experiences. Maybe we feel very fortunate to have everything UE5 can offer at our disposal, and maybe we feel super stoked that because we chose Unreal for Valorant, we can move our devs around and our tech around and our everything around really easily to explore those totally hypothetical new playable experiences. So maybe you'll... I'm guessing that should say see. So maybe you will see me or someone else from my team up here in the future with a very different sort of presentation. End quote. Interesting. And then it goes on. I might as well finish it up. Original release for the PC in June 2020. The free-to-play 5v5 character-based shooter was released for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S in August. And apparently to Donlan, it has 35 million players per month.
Outrageous.
Yeah, madness. The thing for this is, if you've not played Fortnite, completely different game changing, but one that we've had a conversation about recently. Let me just type this. Valorant on UE5. Nice. So we've spoken about Fortnite recently. If you've not played Fortnite since the early days, Fortnite has jumped over to Unreal Engine 5. And you may be like, this is a cartoony game made for kids. It's just not the same. And yeah, the art style is a fantasy animated art style, 100%. It's not going for milsim realism. But if you've not played it since then, you won't see just how stunning that game is. Mm-hmm. It still has that same Fortnite art style, 100%. But the texturing, the draw distance, the physical impacts of things like nanite, the way that things break and particleize and so on, exceptional. Much, much better than a lot of the most realistic games out there. So bringing that back to Valorant, similar sort of art style. It has that almost cartoony, hero-y art style. But it already looks stunning in its own way. Yeah. So adding even more depth and fidelity to the quality of the images and the animations and so on. Woo! What UE5 offers is perfect for Valorant. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, they said the new playable experiences, so I'm keen to explore what that actually means. Like, does it mean that they get opportunities to have new game modes because of the new engine and things like that? or is it just the new experiences are going to be how the world looks, how the new maps could potentially be mapped out? Unbelievably, I mean, this game's only just come to console as well, and so it's gone from one iteration. It's going to change. Well, it hasn't really got a time that's been set on there, so it could be another 2 years down the line at this point. But the fact that they still have 35 million players playing this game each month is a testament to how good this game actually is. Like, I haven't played an iteration of Valorant in maybe 2 years, maybe a little bit longer, to be honest. And I remember playing the ever-loving shit out of it when it first came onto the scene with you, Alpi, Beans, Lewis, Furno was playing with us as well. Like, we had a really good squad. We played a lot of this game. But I would definitely be interested to see what the game looks like in the future, because it's still got a stranglehold on the FPS 5v5 community. So yeah, it's going to grow into something. Like, I don't want to say Apex has fallen off, but I don't hear many people talking about it as much as they used to do. And I hope it doesn't go through that kind of transition. Apex will have a sort of evolution in the very, very near future, I imagine, because it's Warzone isn't where it used to be either since it's relaunched. So it is peaks and troughs. It's always the case in video games, especially live service games. There were people who don't play Fortnite for 5 or 6 seasons and then come back and it's a completely different game. You can not play it for 1 season and go back to it and it's a completely different game. So to still remain and have 35 million players playing this game each month is a testament to how much good they're doing for their community to keep them wanting to come back and play every single time. Because listen, CSGO is the very, very best at that. The player base is unrivaled across this type of game. So to have someone that's so close to not quite reaching those record numbers, but having a player base that's active constantly is genuinely unbelievable. So who knows what the future holds for Valorant, because it's being teased now as having an exciting future ahead. But what it's going to look like on Unreal 5, as is the rest of the world's video games, is going to be something, hopefully, that gives us these new experiences. Because I don't see it all that often anymore. I don't see an evolution of what video games are. It's just, is it a live service game? Yes. Is it a battle royale game? Yes. Is it a sports game? Yes. Where's the evolution in video games now? Because
I see them going similar to Call of Duty. I feel like I can see them doing the Call of Duty thing, where Call of Duty goes, we are multiplayer. No, we are single player stories. We are multiplayer online. We are multiplayer online with a horde rush mode. We are multiplayer online with a horde rush mode and battle royale. We are multiplayer online with a horde rush mode and battle royale and extraction looter shooter sort of stuff. I can see them doing similar sort of things where they go, okay, we offer that search and destroy 5v5 gameplay, and that's kind of it. I can see the easiest thing for them is to go, okay, we will offer different variations of online multiplayer, so TDMs and things like that, building out their game modes like you would in a other shooter. But then I think for me, the mechanics and that pristine gunplay that you get in a Valorant, putting that, I don't think Battle Royale's probably the one. I would fucking love for it to be Battle Royale, but that game is based about inch perfect, pixel perfect accuracy rather than the long-term experience over a 30-minute game or something like that.
Learning your maps, learning your guns, learning your characters, learning your abilities, all of that stuff that comes with a game like that.
Yeah. Like,
it's like Overwatch 2. They fucked it. Like, in terms of what Overwatch 1 was, Overwatch 2 has come out and it's nowhere near the same game. Same with Smite. There's been a lot of redundancies over at High Res over the last, 2 weeks or so, because Smite 2 just hasn't hit the same heights that Smite 1 did.
But you imagine with this, though, you take those experiences and putting them into a battle royale environment where pixel perfect one shot kills someone. Imagine the potential for camping on like, if you're on PUBG and I need to make a cross on from this part of a compound to that part of a compound, and someone just, boop, that's it, you're dead. Fuck. Well, this is shit. So I don't think Battle Royale is it, but extraction shooter is that sort of brutal. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was more into an extraction looter shooter sort of thing rather than a BR, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't just, because they've put playable experiences. Maybe that is just TDMs. And
Would that tickle your pickle?
Possibly. I don't think it would tickle my pickle for the long term. I don't get excited. Like long term, I always will be a Call of Duty fan. I don't get excited by the launch of Call of Duty multiplayer because that prestige grind stuff doesn't appeal to me as much as a battle royale season pass grind stuff, where I play with people and have an actual narrative that we've developed in our game. I love the idea of me and a mate, me and Nietzsche, me and 3 people on a Saturday morning. We'll jump in and we'll play towards the end of it, rather than 3, 2, 1, and then we all just scatter and kill each other until one team gets 75 kills, and then it's like, oh great, that's it, game over. Did we play together? Yes. Did we play together? No. So yeah, the multiplayer stuff I'd probably maybe dabble with, but I don't think it'd keep me for the long term. No. Okay, so that was Riot teasing new playable experiences in UE5. The biggest thing, though, is the UE5 stuff, 100%. Wrapping that back into something that's relevant to ICU and my content specifically, this is the first time that they've teased UE5 a couple of days ago. 2nd of October. I want to see how long it takes for them to put UE5 out into people's hands, because PUBG teased UE5 back in April, and then went, oh, this is not shit. People think because we've spoken about it that it's going to be soon. It's like, well, yeah, you did speak about it in your 2024 roadmap, and then had to backpedal and go, it's probably not going to be till next year. We might give you an update in next year's roadmap, which means it's not even going to be for April next year. It's probably going to be later next year. If they've mentioned it now and they get it rolled out by Christmas, that shows you, for anyone that's tried to argue that PUBG's way of approaching that was decent, it will show you that it's garbage, and that you should not tease stuff like that until you're ready to tease stuff like that. PUBG should be a UE5 game, in my mind. You cannot convince me any different. It should at least be in some form of public beta by now. We are 4 years into the next console generation. We've not even got a PS5 version. So, yeah.
Do you think, though, that the fundamentals of PUBG when it moves to UE5 will turn the player base off, though, because it's so different? Like, you're having to relearn the game and what makes PUBG special in the first place?
No, because Fortnite changed to UE5 and people didn't really notice. It just got prettier. So
yeah, well, I mean, I don't think Fortnite was a clunky game to begin with, but like, there's so much that PUBG should do better, but they don't, in terms of like vaulting over walls and going through windows and getting stuck, and just the clunkiness of that game. If that was to be more fluid, it would. You're talking about a game that's clunky becoming fluid. You'd get excited about it, but is that what makes PUBG special? I don't know.
I don't think that's what makes it special. I think it's one thing that people work around and accept if they play it, and don't accept if they don't play it. So I feel like for me, the main thing is keep the broken shit in. Go to UE5. Get yourself on that system. Even if nothing changes, you've got the same level of visual fidelity, but it works fine. And that's when you then create a detailed roadmap that doesn't just say, by the end of the year, we hope to have done stuff. You go, no, we want our next things are to make the movement system be less clunky, to make it so that when you go through a door, you don't get invisibly stuck on some form of hook thing that keeps you there. Your character like leans past it, or better movement systems like Fortnite. Every time they get a big update, things like hitting the floor, your character does like a dynamic sort of stumble. It doesn't change how you move. It's just animation, just cosmetic, but it looks good. We've not had any form of tweaks like that, other than they changed the parachute animation about 5 years ago, and it's not really changed. We changed the plane the other day. Great. Something that we see at the start of the map is now a little bit shinier for 20 seconds before we jump out of it. Oh, no. So, like, for me, I would just go, get us onto UE5. Then when you're on there, make the skies a bit prettier. Make the whole land terrain. Use Lumen to make the whole lighting system just be more dynamic. Use Nanite to make it so that when you use the feckin' pickaxe to trash the floor open, it actually looks like a really cool floor that's picking away, rather than just some weird ball that just goes bing, like you're watching The Sims or something like that. Like, So, yeah, get us on UE5, then build the stuff in. So, don't get me wrong. I'm saying that like it's easy. It's not easy. Changing the engine, it's not flawless. But 4 years in, we should be about there now, right? Right.
You think so?
Employing software testers, so they stop releasing updates with endless broken things in it. That would be a start. Imagine. If only they did some form of like test server. Oh wait, they do. Well, at least they release it on PC first, so they can fix everything before they roll out on console, and don't just roll out the same bugs there as well. Actually, a week later, right? Okay. There were supposedly images floating around today of Pachinki and UE5 from Unreal Fest this week. Looked like concept art versus actual render, but piqued my interest. Ooh, have you got those pictures? If you have, and you're in the Discord, please do feel free to share. That's the sort of shit that I'm interested in seeing. Sort the rendering distance so it matches PC. Sort the rendering distance so it matches actual functions in game. Like the 8X quite often is a negative because it can zoom so far that you can see buildings that don't exist. Oh, look at the big lump of Play-Doh that a guy's going behind. He's just disappeared. He just went boop, into nothing. Fuck. So yeah, that rendering distance, make it so that your actual tools in game can use it. So yeah. Anyway, that's me going into PUBG. Let's leave that. We'll finish up with this article. I'm going to just bring up a couple of headlines. First one. We're talking about PUBG, but this isn't about PUBG. PUBG Studios is bringing Palworld to mobile. PUBG owner Krafton has signed a licensing agreement for a mobile version. Ooh, did not know this at all. Literally, this is the first I am knowing about this, so nice. A mobile game based on Palworld is on the way, it's been announced. South Korean publisher Krafton, which owns PUBG Studios and the Protocol Studio Striking Distance, announced that it signed a licensing agreement with Japanese game developer Pocket Pair for the intellectual property of Palworld. Through this contract, Krafton will expand the Palworld IP to the mobile platform, it added. While it's not yet clear whether the game will be a direct port of the console and PC version of Palworld or something completely different, Krafton has at least confirmed that the mobile version will be handled by the development team of PUBG Studios. Krafton says it plans to fully reinterpret and implement the original's main full elements to fit the mobile environment. Okay, we'll stop there. Interesting. That does sound quite exciting. Being able to play Palworld on the go, I'll take that. I will take that. But PUBG has a lot of things that need fixing, so where are they getting these staff from if it's PUBG Studios? God damn. So, yeah, interesting. Thoughts, babe? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I haven't got much to go on with this because it's interesting this is coming out now, considering that Pocket Pair have been hit with a Nintendo injunction for infringement on obviously Pokemon. It's
actually not. Sorry, just jumping on that. So they a lot of people say that they have a copyright injunction. They don't. They actually have what's the word I'm looking for? A mechanic infringement is what they're going for. So they're not saying that they're copying their Pokemon. They're saying they're copying the way that the game plays. So an example, Warner Brothers have the Nemesis system in the Shadow of War games. Now that system can't be copied in other games. That's actually what they've gone after them for, the system rather than the actual intellectual property of the game, which is interesting. But anyway, sorry, as you were.
Yeah. So it is weird timing for this. However, I mean, Palworld, I adored that game when it first came out. Unfortunately, I was playing it on Xbox, which I think was it 2 versions behind the PC version? So the things that people was experiencing on PC, we wasn't getting for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, which sucked a little bit. So I wasn't getting the full Palworld experience, but that game, like, I imagine it's still doing extremely well for them to be able to make a mobile version of this game. Like, it was only in early access and still is in early access, and I think is going to be in early access for, again, at least another year. So they've got a lot of wiggle room to maneuver and potentially change direction, keep on adding stuff to what this game is. But it's a phenomenal game, and it doesn't surprise me that they want to try and capitalize on it while it's still hot, because it could come down at any moment. But the way that in which the game works, the pals were, a lot of them were cute, a lot of them were fucking ugly, which is what you want in a game like this, whether or not it's Pokemon, whether or not it's Temtem, all these other games that are very similar to it. But it did something. It did something unique. It was Pokemon with guns. That's what everyone labeled it as, and I imagine that's probably what pissed Nintendo off across the board because they was using their name to represent a completely different game as the base. But yeah, Palworld's brilliant. But like you said, where is Crafton getting the team to be able to make a mobile version of this, which I imagine is going to be hella complex. It ain't just going to be like a port and then scale it back a little bit. It's going to be a big doozy of a game.
It could be cool because the game, let's be honest, Palworld isn't stunning, and it isn't doesn't have any deep visual fidelity, and the mechanics aren't overly complex. So it is something that could probably port to mobile quite easily. And from the flip side, Pocket Pair was a very small team, so PUBG Studio, if they even just go fuck it, we'll take I don't know, let's use shit numbers here and say 5 people works on Pocket Pair's game. It's undoubtedly more than 5 people, but we'll just using this for something to comprehend. If PUBG go, we will put 30 people on this, fully specced up devs working in very high-tech studios with more people working much faster, could just do stuff at such a pace that they would never have been able to do before. So that could be monumental in terms of moving Palworld forward. The interesting thing is, PUBG Mobile versus PUBG. PUBG Mobile has so much more in it than PUBG does. Having anyone that plays GTA Online, you have your home in GTA Online. You go into your online environment and you've got a house that you've decorated and set up for yourself and so on. You have that in PUBG Mobile. You don't just go in, drop into a lobby and kill people. You've got all sorts of stuff to do socially or just on your own when you're away from that. There's multiple other elements that I've not even scratched the surface on in PUBG Mobile. So do we start to see this situation then where Pocket Pair no doubt will have skilled up with the success of Palworld, but they are undoubtedly not as skilled up as a team like PUBG Studio. Like I said, ignoring the fact that PUBG Studio should be working on their own things, goddammit. Could we start seeing that sort of thing where Palworld Mobile suddenly has more brand crossovers and things like that we've seen with Tencent working on PUBG Mobile versus PUBG Studios on PC and console, where Palworld Mobile has more branding crossovers, more content, more in-game functions than we actually see on the console and PC games. That's very, very feasible that we see that, which is, yeah, I don't know how to take that. Is that when we start to see the console and PC games go, do you know what? For the development process, maybe we just become a glorified mobile game, which I'm saying that. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, just in a actual way. The mobile game, Palworld could be a mobile game with the way it looks. Do we just be a mobile game that you play on PC just so that we can move faster? So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that actually unfolds from PUBG's perspective. Speaking of PUBG, I just see, I don't know if Mike may have put it in the Discord already. I see he's asked for the link, but Sheep did put the link in the chat, so let me bring this up. This is from Gargod, friend of ICU. Asked ICU to join Barcelona on FC25. Sorry, mate. We can all dream, right? This, I imagine, because being a PUBG nerd, we all fucking know this shit. This is the top left corner of Erengel's map. So this would be Zaki up here. This would be North George. This is South George. Georgia Pole Bridge. This is the mountain just near George. This is the bridge to where Watertown would be down here. This is what we'd call the cube, is it? No, this is the cube right here. But yeah, looks amazing. But also, that's a lot of trees for people to hide in. So this is where you get the flip side is, whilst that looks incredible in terms of, it's probably just a render, but whilst that looks incredible, there is no way that you can track people through that. That's where you start to play DayZ, and you have to take everything super slowly and so on. So positives and negatives of that. I would definitely love to give it a try, though. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Okay, moving ahead. One final story before we wrap things up with Free Game Friday is... Where's my button? There. This is written by the team over at Eurogamer. Actually, Victoria Kennedy over at Eurogamer. And this is one that we've brought in because anyone that's been around for a while will have seen us talking about The Day Before, a game that us and the world was hyped about. Turned out it was a fucking shit show. It was basically an asset flip. They got a shitload of assets and stuff from open source systems, threw them all into a game to try and cream a lot of money off people, and then disappeared into the night. Or did they? The Day Before developer returns with Fntastic 2.0. Fntastic was the name of the developer, by the way, and is asking for your money again. Quote, your support is crucial. So the Day Before developer Fntastic has come out of the woodwork to announce its return. The Day Before launched in December 2023 after a rocky road to release, which included delays, the developer being forced to state its game wasn't a scam, and criticism for its use of unpaid volunteers. It even got tied up in a bizarre trademark dispute with a calendar app, also called The Day Before. In the end, The Day Before didn't last long. Its debut was a mess, and the studio was shut down a mere matter of days after the game's release, with players receiving refunds for the products. And to be honest, I thought it was a scam, but I was wrong because the studio is now back and it wants your money again. Everyone deserves a second chance, is a quote, by the way. Everyone deserves a second chance. We deeply apologise to everyone for The Day Before and take full responsibility for what happened, Fntastic wrote in a post on social media platform X announcing its return. It then shared a link highlighting its plans for Fntastic 2.0, with lots of words such as honesty, transparency, and professionalism being used. Professionalism probably is more in line with what they actually have. But anyway, Fntastic has a new mission as part of its comeback effort, quote, to create games that will be loved for decades. The company's vision, meanwhile, is now, quote, to become one of the most loved game companies by creating fantastic, innovative, and emotionally engaging experiences, end quote. The studio has also revealed its next game, a physics-based multiplayer co-op escape game for 4 to 8 players called Escape Factory, which seems a far cry from what it initially showed The Day Before to be. Quote, you play as life-weary workers trying to escape the vicious cycle of deadly factories from which there's no easy way out. Legend has it that only one great and mysterious individual has ever escaped, reads the blurb for Escape Factory. The developer has set up a Kickstarter campaign as part of its Fntastic 2.0 push, which at the time of writing has £309 pledged. Let's go! Of 11,623 goal with 15 backers. If someone chooses to support this comeback by pledging $12,000, they will get an unforgettable dinner with the founders. Yeah. However, if we're unable to reach our initial funding goal, we won't be able to release Escape Factory to make or make our return as Fntastic, it wrote. Your support is crucial in helping us bring this vision to life. And this image here on screen of Escape Factory looks like some sort of weird top-down version of Fall Guys. God damn. Anyway, back to the article. I don't know about you, but I am skeptical about this whole thing. Do you know what? We'll leave it there. We'll stop there. Baby, you're skeptical?
Extremely. Like, surely you have to be an idiot to want to be able to back this. Like, from what the old cut and run that they did last time, it can't fly twice. I think they're putting it out there to see if they can get anything, because I can't believe that they're going to get anything for this. So only time will tell, but with how bad it went last time, I mean, they didn't actually get any money last time, did they? If I remember rightly, they didn't get any money for it. Like, there was no money. Yeah, so I don't know what kind of thing that they're expecting from this, but so long as people don't get ripped off, do what you need to do, mate. Do what you need to do. It looks a terrible game if that's what it looks like. So hopefully that should put people off.
The thing for me is if they truly decided to come back, then surely, as a developer that wants to offer game-changing, innovative, emotionally engaging experiences, or whatever buzzwords they were throwing out, surely you would finish what you started. Like, if you cared that much, you'd be like, do you know what, fuck it, we'll come back, we will make The Day Before happen. Because you would get, imagine that would be the ultimate No Man's Sky moment. You could fix that and bring that back. But there is some difficulties in that, in terms of, I didn't realise this until I saw this article the other day. Apparently, The Day Before is not theirs anymore. Like, I don't know how, I don't know where, I didn't see the sources. Someone just mentioned that it was basically, I don't know if it was some form of copyright-ish thing, or one of their things is folding, or they sold it on, or something. Whatever it was, someone else now owns all of that. So I get that. Okay, fine, fair enough. But if you were coming back and you were a serious developer, surely you'd be like, especially if you're using the name Fntastic again, you'd be like, no, we need to finish this, because that is money on the table. The belief that that game had money on the table, the amount of articles that are sat waiting to be written about that game, even though they may be shit PR. Fuck me, these guys are at it again, because we're all thinking it. Fuck that, no one's going to play that shit. But we're still looking like some sort of car crash, and we're drivers on the other side of the motorway rubbernecking a quick glance, because fuck, I'm not looking at the fucking, this is terrible, but I can't stop staring at it. There is media coverage in here, whether it's bad or good. There is stuff here, and if they really cared, they would want to finish that. So to come back and offer these brand new engaging experiences and give Fall Guys 2.0, that's not the one. That's not the one. So there was a comment. Where is it? Anyone that gives money deserves to lose it at this point, says Sheep. Yep, 100%. If you put a quid in this, you deserve to lose it. If you're putting money in because you've got the money to spare and you think, fuck it, let's see how this plays out, then fair play. You're paying for the content, because you're not going to get the gameplay. You're not going to get the
literally.
gameplay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fntastic, the gift that keeps on giving, that's a different thing. Yeah, sorry. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Nice. Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving. It is. It's content. I swear they are a company that are owned by like VG247 or something like that. They've just gone, fuck it, we need some news to post every day. So yeah, we'll make a fake company and fuck it up worse than anyone. That's genius. Why? Do you know what? That is genius. We should do this, babe. We'll create a game developer, create the best game that's ever gonna be ever, and then we will continuously feck that up. But we will make sure that Ice Cream Uploads gets all of the scoops on the story before anyone else does, so we can get all the clicks and stuff. That's fucking genius.
That is genius.
Let's do it. It's probably illegal, but we'll figure that out as we go. Nice. Their new game is Kickstarter Sim.
Ironically, that'll probably do better than anything else that was ever going to put out.
Some more on their level, but no chance I'd trust them with any of my money. $2, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone that... I love you, Tito. You say,
we love you, really.
It was I'd. Seems more on their level, but no chance I'd trust them with any of my money. Yeah, 100%. No, you are right, though. Maybe they are legit, and maybe they've not come in offering the best game the world has ever seen. Maybe they've come in and tried to just make some money on a game to get themselves set up, to make a bit more money on the next game, to get themselves set up a bit more, to make money on the big game. Because that's what brands like Pocket Pair and so do. They either build one or two smaller experiences and then go big, or they just go big on one easy to reach experience and then make it phenomenal. That's what Epic did. I know Epic obviously had shitloads of revenue then, but Fortnite Save the World was a much smaller project than what Fortnite is now, just technically, let alone the fucking crossovers and stuff. So yeah, maybe they are trying to build it up. It just seems a bit bizarre that you do that as that. You just got to fuck it, cut all ties and start again. But maybe they think, what is it they say, the PR thing? Any news is good news? Maybe they're thinking that just using that is the way to go. So
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's like the creator of Fire Festival creating another festival. I don't know what that festival is. What is that festival?
Don't get burned twice.
Everyone deserves a second chance, though, Sheep. Except Fred West, Mara Hindley, Jack the Ripper, and countless other criminals. Nice. It looks like a mobile game, which is close to their wheelhouse, because they start off as mobile game devs. They did Prop Night, or whatever it was called, on PC, which was a scary-ish game that, for all intents and purposes, a lot of people had fun with. So Prop Night got taken down as part of this, which is a shame, because it was a very successful launch for them. But that was very small in comparison. So yeah, possibly. Look at other developers who have released something that wasn't ready and then gone back and fixed it. The damage was done initially, so even if it works second time around, it isn't that successful. Cyberpunk, for example. That said, though, Cyberpunk has turned it around in many different ways. Like, they've got a massively successful Netflix series. Their last batch of DLC was hugely successful. The stuff with Idris Elba in and so on. The difficulty with Cyberpunk is CD Projekt Red were like almost seen as genius storytellers with the Witcher series, and the Cyberpunk story wasn't on the same level. I haven't played it, so I can't say it for myself. I'm just regurgitating feedback from people that I've spoken to that have played it, in that it's a good game, not a great game, but they did fix it, and they have recouped the money, and they have had, to an extent, that No Man's Sky moment. But yeah, some games can do it. Like you say, though, the majority of developers, though, can't do it. So if they did do that with this, though, the No Man's Sky moment potential becomes the day before moment. I mean, it doesn't ring quite nicely as No Man's Sky moment. That sounds like it just rolls off the tongue. The day before moment. What? Something happened yesterday? No, I mean, like never mind. So you are right, though. Like, the amount of time and effort and persistence. The key thing is No Man's Sky's development team. Like, we've spoken about this before. Their community paid for a billboard opposite their office to say thank you. And then the money that was left over, they spent on pizzas and sent them into their office to say thank you for fixing the game. And the reason their community did that was because when the game was wrong and they understood their mistakes, they were transparent with all of their mistakes and why things were going wrong and what they're planning to do, and then did all of the things that they'd planned to do over a set time frame that they planned to do it in. So people felt involved and communicated to and included, whereas the day before got 2 weeks and just shut things up and went, it's all gone by, and then just disappeared. Yeah. And now we're back again on something completely different. No transparency. It's do as I say, not as I do. So yeah, this, I don't think it gets a Cyberpunk moment, let alone a No Man's Sky moment. So you are right. I don't think they have the same caliber of interest or people that the No Man's Sky team does. The whole company's dodgy as fuck. Russian brothers who are registered out of Singapore to avoid sanctions on Russia based on in an office they've never existed in. Yeah. Isn't the office above an old laundrette or something like that? There was a game called Poker Club I was buzzing for. Launch night, it didn't work properly. Couldn't get into the game. I've genuinely never gone back to the game in 4 years. Yeah, that's the thing, though. First impressions, you do get second chances at a first impression. The old adage is you don't, but you do. But you have to earn it. Sometimes it's a case of your first impression. No, not your first impression. The lead up to the first impression. Like, let's say I'm going to meet Sheep, and the way that I've sold that meeting to him has been so influential, and then I meet him, and it's shit. The meeting is the first impression, but that first idea of the impression, if that's pitched rightly, you'll be willing to give a second chance at that first impression. But more often than not, the first impression is enough to burn it. And I think with the day before, there was enough within there, but it was all bluster. It was all bullshit. Everybody wants, and I say everybody, air quotes everybody, everybody wants The Last of Us and... what's the game Tito always talks about? Division. There we go. The Last of Us and The Division to play out in a world that allows team play and the Daisy-esque element of scrabbling for resources and building your own sort of base like you'd get in a State of Decay. Everyone wants all of that stuff thrown together. So that's the reason why you'd probably get a second chance at first impression, because it sounds too good to be true. And as we say on the internet, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, we'll wrap things up there. This has been a long old stream, as we expected, because we had a recap and we had the scoop and we had a bit of a chat before we did it. And yeah, it's been good. It's been good, though. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you to Infamous for the follow, Candy for the raid, Mike for the raid, Judd for the 43 months, Wobbles for the 18 months, Lechy for the 4 months, Bib for the 66 months, West for the 48 months, Naked Neil for the 33 months, Tito for the 41 months, and Nietzsche for the 36 months. Beautiful. Thank you all very much. Do you know what? We're going to reward you, though. Well, we aren't. Epic is. Because we're going to bring back... Can anyone in the stream want to type !FF into the chat? Please, Mitz? Please, Mitz? No? No, please, Mitz? Okay. I'll just change this.
Free game Friday.
Cheers, kids. Thank you, mate. Yeah! So it was going to be awkward. We were going to be sat on that screen for about 3 or 4 hours.
Free
Hey, we got it again!
Friday.
Oh, it's fucking Free Game Friday by twice, baby. Sheep. So yeah, Free Game Friday. If you weren't part of our streams 6 months ago when we were last doing the scoop,
Free game.
nope, Gaga's getting involved
Friday.
now. Okay, Tina's getting involved as well. Fuck. Yeah, Free Game Friday. That's what this is. We tell you what games you can get free on a Friday. Nice. And always, as always, it's usually revolving around the Epic Game Store. This is written by Morgan Park and contributors from PC Gamer, and this is what's free on the Epic Game Store right now. What's free until October the 10th? Bear and breakfast. Managing a exactly. I know. We'll just go with it. Managing a bed and breakfast is challenging work, especially if you're a bear. Which is a sentence I didn't expect to be reading at all, but there you go. So with Bear and Breakfast, you can build up your inn by completing quests and following the story. Then use all the stuff you've unlocked to customize your spaces. It's a good freebie if you're up for cozy and weird woods adventures, or just managing your little inn and trying to drum up paying customers. It actually looks pretty cool art style wise. So this is the image if you are watching the video podcast right in the middle of the screen. If you aren't, it's just a cool sort of like isometric-y, top-down-ish. It's more isometric. Pokemon. Imagine Pokemon, but with a cartoon bear as a character rather than Ash Ketchum or whatever your dude is called, Red, in the game. So yeah, that. But building it in. What's not to love?
Yeah.
Nice. And it's free. What's not to love? Yeah, that is on the Epic Game Store, so that is free right now. That updates every Thursday, about I think it's 4 p.m. It could be 6 p.m. UK time is nice. There you go. So it's free. It's Friday now. It's been free for not even a day, and it will remain for another 6 days ish until 4 p.m. Thursday UK time next week, and then we'll get a new game which will be Empyrean Galactic Survival, and also Outliver or Outliver. Don't know what it is. Tribulation. Outliver or Liver Tribulation. Yeah, nice. Free games. Let's go, baby. Speaking of free games, PS Plus, I think yesterday or Tuesday, will have just updated with their free games as well. I don't know what they are. I don't have them to hand.
I haven't done them yet. Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Ooh, okay. I will start wrapping things up. But yeah, if you're a PlayStation user, the PS Plus free games will be out now. We'll give you what those are in just a second. For now, though, I am going to wrap things up. We are back weekly. Out with your liver, a drinking game. Get it out of here, mate. Might want to do a timeout on that one. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you, everyone that's joined us back again for the scoop. We're going to do this weekly now, happening every Friday, which is good because it gives us, obviously, frees up a little bit more time for us to carry on doing the things that we need to do work-wise, but also means that we get to just pick the best bits from the week. So if you do see any news stories that you like, please do feel free to share those, because you will help, stealing Baby's words here, you will help shape our show. Yeah. The Discord channel is just called The Scoop. Make sure if you're in the Discord, go in there. If you see some news, even if you're not entirely sure if it's fully video game relevant, even if we don't speak about it on stream, we can talk about it in Discord. And if we do talk about it in Discord and you think, actually, it's going to take me fucking forever to type out my thoughts or whatever, then feel free to join us in the chat and maybe we can do it that way. Or if you feel really strongly about something, we are going to start welcoming guests onto the show as well. So if you want to jump in and join us on screen, whether you've got a camera, maybe you might not want to be on camera, we can just do voiceovers and things like that. It might not be for the full show. You might just want to jump in for certain stories. We don't have a set format. We're going to see how that evolves over time. So yeah, if you want to jump in, even if it's just to say a few words, then yeah, get involved. Exclamation mark Discord in the chat. Did you get the PlayStation free games?
I did. Bangers, you know.
Ooh.
Bangers. WWE 2K24.
Ooh.
Dead Space Remake.
Ooh.
And then Doki Doki Literature Club, which just isn't a game for me, but it's on the account now anyway.
One for Friday. There you go.
Yeah.
I think she streamed that
But
on
Dead
the channel.
Space Remake, man.
Yeah, that's a banger. That is a banger. That is a strong month, is that? Yeah. Nice. Well, and that's good for the people who want a Halloween game as well. How many people are going to be streaming Dead Space Remake at Halloween this year? Let's go. Those that aren't playing Silent Hill 2, obviously. Nice.
Yes.
Nice. GG's, enjoyed it. Appreciate you dropping in, Mike. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, anyway, we're going to wrap things up, but before any of that happens, it's been a while I've asked this, but is there anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Bibb?
Christ.
Hear the cog.
I should have really watched an old episode just to get an idea of what I used to say, but it was something along the lines of thank you very much for joining us for this show. We very much welcome your thoughts and opinions on top of our thoughts and opinions. But if you want to help shape our shows, then yeah, find us across all of our social medias. This is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media platforms, or alternatively get involved with our Discord. There's an area over there called The Scoop, so feel free to later put in any of your thoughts and opinions. We will then give you our thoughts and opinions on the very next show, which will be at what time next Friday, Mr. Graham Day?
That will be at 10 a.m.
I suddenly just found the rhythm there. It's like it all just started flooding back into my brain. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for today's episode.
You cut me off before I could say on that 10 a.m. as well,
okay.
by the way. God damn. But yeah, it's funny that because I did the same thing. I had the script that we usually have. So the planning document that you got a quick glance at before, at the bottom of that, it has our intro-ish script, which we don't read word for word. We go off script a little bit. But I started I had it there. I thought, I fucking got this. just ignored it. Like, let's go, baby.
Just chiseling off the rust as we're going through the words. But yeah.
Nice. No, thank you everyone for joining us. It's good to have you all back in. The thing with the scoop is, you may have heard us talk about this before. It's not the content that's going to set the world on fire. I mean, it could do if the stars aligned or something, but for us, it's probably the most difficult content for us to put out there that will get picked up by more people or whatever. But it's content that we really enjoy because it keeps us up to speed with video games. There is no gameplay. So we get to converse with you guys. We tell you what we think. You tell us what you think. We take the piss out of you for saying what you think. I mean, no, sorry, no, I didn't mean it. But no, it's good. It's the content that's not going to get us the biggest numbers in the world.
Yeah.
And we know that, but we don't care about that because we enjoy doing that. So
it's very unclippable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very unclippable.
Yeah, exactly. And it's something that is not sexy, that people aren't just going to go fucking yeah hype moments all the time and so on, which means you're not going to get all the brand partnership crossovers. We don't care. For us, it's just a good way for us to get up to speed with video games and get up to speed with you guys. So yeah, anyone that does come back, we properly appreciate you for doing that. So thank you very much. Anyway, we are going to bounce. Please do feel free to stick around if you are on Twitch, as we're going to drop a raid on one of our friends. If you're watching or listening on one of the podcast services, then you know what, just fuck off and listen to some Dua Lipa or whatever is probably going to get pushed your way on Spotify because, you know, that's all they ever do. Anyway, Spotify hate aside. Love you, Spotify, really. Thank you all. Have yourself a beautiful weekend. And until next Friday,
Stay frosty.